All right, y'all. So we got something good to cover today. It was Obama's third term. Lindy Lee on puppets of the Joe Biden administration, y'all. So we're gonna dive into this. Make sure y'all following Sean Ryan clips if y'all not already. Very informative and good information. You can take what you want out of it. You know what I'm saying? Research it yourself. Don't research it yourself. Don't just go off what I be telling y'all. You got to do it for yourself. But we're finna dive into it because during his administration, y'all, there's definitely some puppets flowing around. And Biden, Bimbo, and Kamala Harris was the two of them, and plenty more, y'all. But we gonna dive into it because she's gonna give us a breakdown of actually who were puppets in Joe Biden's administration now. So with that being said, y'all, appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm finna be quiet. We finna dive into this video, and then we're going to chop it up towards the end like we do. Let's get into it.
It was for sure Obama's third term. I don't think that's even a question. But also, he didn't have much faith in Kamala Harris. Before she ascended to the top role, he was vetting people like Mark Kelly and Andy Bashir.
So who was running it? Who are the names?
A
lot of people say it was Obama's third term. There's rumors of, and these are friends of mine that are moderate Democrats say that they thought it was Elizabeth Warren running it. They thought it was Bernie Sanders running it. But I think the general consensus, I think if you asked, the majority of the population, they think it was Obama's third term.
It was for sure Obama's third term. I don't think that's even a question. I don't think anyone it definitely was. And that's why you saw Obama fighting for his dear life. Why was he fighting so hard in the fall? Because he was fighting for his fourth term. He was fighting for his own legacy. The relationship between Obama and Biden is most reminiscent of that between LBJ and JFK. JFK had little respect for Lyndon B. Johnson, but he picked him anyway because he wanted to win the South. He wanted to win Texas. But he had very little respect for LBJ's intellect. JFK was surrounded by his Harvard brain trust, and he had immense disdain for LBJ's Texas Hill Country vibe. And that was the same attitude that Obama had towards Biden. Obama thought that Biden would eventually fuck everything up. And that's eventually actually what happened.
A fact.
So, but also, he didn't have much faith in Kamala Harris. Before she ascended to the top role, he was vetting people like Mark Kelly and Andy Bashir. Most party chieftains didn't have Kamala Harris as their number one choice.
Yeah,
but
we did.
In the party of DEI, you can't skip a black woman. The optics would have been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't either. She was just thrown out there.
Mm-hmm. So who was running it? Who are the names?
Steve Ricchetti, his senior advisor, Anita Dunn, Mike Donnellan, Ron Klain, Jeff Zients, Bob Bauer, his personal lawyer, who's actually his personal lawyer, who actually leased a book basically grifting off his relationship with the Bidens. I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying all this. Please give me credit but these are the people who ran our country for the last 4 years.
So let's go through each name for all of the audience. Not everybody is as tuned in with who's who in the political world.
Right, for real.
As a general overview, these are the people who made a living off of their connection with Biden. It's like they were leeching off the Biden name for decades, and all of them realized that they would never work for another president, so they had to ride the gravy train all the way through, like ride it to the very end. And that's why all of them refused to concede the truth, which is that Biden is unfit, and he would have been comatose by the time he was 86.
Who's the first name you mentioned?
Steve Ricchetti, the same guy who put his own kid at the Treasury.
Who is he? What's his position?
His most senior White House senior advisor. Like all of them are White House counselor or White House senior advisor. And they are the gatekeepers of the president.
Who's the next name?
Mike Donnellan, the same guy who's feeding, I'm just going to say it like it is, feeding Biden fake numbers telling him that he would win, he would beat Trump. Like, seriously, are you kidding me? And The truth of the matter is, by the time Biden was going to drop out, he was on track to lose the Electoral College by 400 votes. Trump was on track to get 400 Electoral College votes. Not a typo. I'm not misspeaking. 400 electoral votes by the time he dropped out. And Mike Donnellan, his pollster, whom he, they go back decades. By the way, the major qualification for all of these folks is that they know Biden really well. These aren't like PhDs or like rocket scientists or anything like that. It's just because of loyalty. And they've stayed with him for a number of years. So Mike Donnellan, Nancy Pelosi actually called him out. And she said, show me the numbers, Mike. Like, show me where you're getting these numbers that show that Biden can still beat Trump. And Donnellan wasn't able to deliver.
I bet.
No such numbers exist.
Who's the next name?
Who did I say? Anita Dunn. I actually have a soft spot for Anita Dunn because she got iced out of the Biden circle in July, August of this past year because she dared to say, maybe it's a good idea for the president to shy away from his convicted felon of a son because the optics aren't great.
Why do you have a soft spot for somebody who's running the country in the shadows to the ground?
Because she dared to speak up. She's the only one who did. She's the only one who dared to utter criticism.
But we went 4 years.
I know, but she's the only one who did anything a little bit different, you know? And she got exiled. She got kicked out of the White House.
I bet, because she can't go against the grain.
So she got booted out. And then not only her husband got booted out. Her husband, Bob Bauer, was Biden's personal attorney. So after Anita... Oh, so I should also mention that after the debate, Hunter basically commandeered the White House. He sat in on all the White House top-level meetings. You had a former cocaine addict sitting in on the most sensitive meetings of the most consequential and important government in world history. Does that sit right with you?
No.
Without security clearance, mind you. No security clearance. That's who was basically running the show. So Hunter basically battened down the hatches after the debate to make sure that his father would only receive intel that he pre-approved. And so Anita Dunn got exiled around this time, along with her husband. Her husband was playing Trump in the debate prep. Ron Klain was disgraced after the debate blew up. And then Jeff Zients, the person who's worth like hundreds of millions of dollars, the chief of staff. I should mention that the weekend that Biden made the decision to drop out, he only told two people in that circle, and that's that's Steve Ricchetti and Mike. He didn't tell Anita because I was on a call with Anita that morning and she had no idea it was going to happen. It completely caught her off guard. So by that time, they were already easing her out of the circle.
Did we cover all the names?
Did we? Jill Biden. She was like president. She was president. I was with
I said that about
Joe and Jill the night of the debate.
She ran the show pretty much, like, because he couldn't do it for real. Y'all see her, the same one who's sitting in the cabinet pick doing all that talking and stuff. She ran the show. She was the president, like for real, because he wasn't in his right mind.
At their VIP debate watch party. I slept all the way to Atlanta, Georgia for that, to show my support. Oh my gosh, Sean, you wouldn't believe it. So that night, I have the pictures too. I was with Joe. And so Jill takes Joe by the hand. The names are so similar. I'm sorry. Jill takes Joe by the hand on stage and she's like, Joe, you knew all the facts. You answered all the questions. And you know that hand gesture that she does. And I'm thinking, you're treating him like a first grader. You know, like just because he... You know, like you shouldn't applaud him for doing the basics. And you could just tell that she was fighting for dear life to hold on to the vestige of power. And just a few days later, she was on the cover of Vogue. So the whole thing was a Jill Biden show. She was not as authentic as Joe, I want to say. I think as Joe got older, maybe you think I'm naive in saying this, but I'm not even sure if he remembers all of the corruption that he engaged in.
But doesn't surprise me.
Like, I don't think
Same.
he had a full understanding what was going on.
I don't think anybody would argue that. No matter where you're watching
Really,
Sean
facts.
Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment,
subscribe.
subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And
Share it.
if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.
Y'all do that. Do that. Do that.
Oh, thank you very much.
Do that. Look at my boy. Ha! That man said, F around and find out. Get up out of here. Get out of here, man. Yes, y'all. So I hope that was really informative with y'all. I definitely can say, yes, Jill was running the show. A lot of y'all was saying, you know, Obama was still in the background running stuff. But yes, I believe a lot of people played a part in his administration because, as we can all see, Biden did not have everything upstairs, y'all. For real, for real. He didn't. And like she said, she don't even think he can remember half of the corruption stuff that he did. That most of them people was doing that around him. We know this. We know this. Okay? So tell us something that ain't new. Now, I want to know y'all thoughts on this. So y'all go ahead. Let's chop it up in the comment section, y'all. Didn't maneuver through different content right now because I think that this was really informative and, you know, has a lot of truth to it. Now, if y'all want to add to some of those names, then go ahead and drop it in the comment section. If she missed some names, were there more? I'm still having to learn who these people she was mentioning, and putting faces to them because that list she just went to only, you know, well, honestly, about 2 of them. So drop it in the comment section, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, kicking it with your girl. Until the next reaction, y'all, please do me a favor. Be safe. Remain safe. I'm up out of here.